Welcome, everyone, to Ep.5 of Over the Line podcast. This week we have NBA playoff. Well, the start of NBA playoffs. I know we got some games going on right now over these next few days. We have PGA. I know we're coming off the Masters, and there's kind of a hangover from that. We have some MLB, some NHL, some lacrosse. There's going to be a process explained to you at some point, but we'll get into that. Before we get started, how'd you guys do this weekend? Any good betting? How'd you do in the Masters? Anything?
Got absolutely annihilated.
Nice. Shane, I do want to give you your flowers on our home run parlay that we posted.
That was good at.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of that, we will have another one of those tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll get it out a little bit earlier instead of about 10 minutes before the game started. So we do apologize for that, but
honestly, we shouldn't because they would have tailed it.
Yeah,
unless they just picked one of them,
yeah,
which would have just been mine. But yeah,
so we'll have something tomorrow. We'll have another one. It'll be a winner this time, I promise. Well, no guarantee. I can't guarantee that.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good way to just end up. Not kind of getting in trouble here, but
yeah, no guarantees.
We're gonna do our best. I always say I'll do my best, and for some reason with those, my best is usually all right.
Yeah, we'll try our best not to lose. How about that?
Works for me.
All right. I had a great Masters. Rory McIlroy won me a ton of money, so thank you for that. Congrats to Rory. You can finally get that monkey off your back of not winning the Masters. He's finally got his Grand Slam. So what does he do now? Does he care anymore? Does he go even harder now? Does he just what happens?
I'm done. He's just I'm out. Forget it. I did everything I came to do.
Does he try to win a second Grand Slam? Do guys win multiple Grand Slams? Is that even a thing?
Well, Tiger Woods does. I don't know about anybody else.
Yeah.
Did Tiger win multiple Grand Slams?
I'm pretty sure he won every major at least twice. Pretty sure. So, because he won, I think, 15 or 16. So I imagine
it would be that would be fitting then, because Tiger and Rory had a pretty special bond. So
yeah, I think at this point for Rory, it's just I think it's cementing himself as the best of this current generation. And I think that's kind of because I think at this point he's a different era from Tiger, I think, for the most part. Because I mean, most of his would you guys argue that most of his championships are in the post-Tiger era?
Yeah, I would say, because I mean, I consider the post-Tiger era almost 2008 on.
Yeah,
almost.
I mean, for real,
at least in terms of the Tiger that was basically unbeatable on Sundays if you got to that point. So I would say that.
Maybe post I'd say 2010s and beyond is kind of past where Tiger's really doing much.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say at this point he's competing with trying to cement himself as one of the greats. So I think he can still be an all-time great.
Yeah.
I mean, so he was the sixth guy to do it, by the way.
Yeah.
So 5 others have done it. And the question about Tiger and stuff, Jack and him both have completed 3 full Grand Slams. They've won they've won every major at least 3 times. So they have 3 Grand Slams essentially between the two. Well, both of them have them. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
they're really good at their job.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, outside of those 2, everyone else has no more than 1 completed.
Yeah. Masters is the first major of the year, though, right?
I think
I would assume so.
So it's the Masters, U.S. Open, the Open, and PGA.
Maybe Rory goes for the way he's playing this year. Maybe he goes for the calendar Grand Slam.
Yeah, the Grand Slam in a season or whatever.
Yeah, that could be.
I mean, that's something to shoot for.
Yeah, I think for him the biggest thing though is him making sure that Scotty Scheffler specifically doesn't surpass him.
Okay, well,
Right.
so let's just get into our PGA picks then, because I think this is perfect.
Yeah.
So this weekend, we have the RBC Heritage 2025. It's not the Masters. Let's just say that. I mean, everyone, even if you don't like golf, you probably watched a few holes of the Masters this weekend. I would say plenty of girlfriends, wives, or partners of people that necessarily don't like golf were just forced to watch a few holes. So
Even I did, and I don't even know what's going on half the time.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
So this weekend, this is for the real golf lovers. This is where all your bandwagoners, this is like the people that come over to the Super Bowl to watch the commercials to your house, to your party. Like all those people leave. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes. We're betting on the RBC Heritage this weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and kick us off. I'm doing a 4 guys to finish top 20.
Ooh, 4. All right.
Yep, I'm going Oberg. He kind of choked a little bit at the end there. I think he had a chance, and I know that every time I bet him, he just disappoints me. But I just can't quit him.
You guys just have a bad relationship.
Yeah,
abusive relationship.
I know. I'm going Tommy Fleetwood, another guy just.
Elite golf name, by the way.
Yeah, elite golf name. And then Minwoo Lee, I had him to finish top 3 this week, but he just absolutely pooped the bed.
Yeah, killed me.
And then the guy we were just talking about, Scotty Scheffler. So all 4 of them at plus 6, or all 4 of them at to finish top 20s at plus 656. Scotty's going to be pissed off. I think Scotty wins this weekend, but I'm going to reserve that. So what do you got, Dalton?
So are you doing a winner pick or anything?
No, I don't have a winner right now. I might do it closer to when it tees off tomorrow, but we'll see.
So it's funny. So I've been getting absolutely killed on golf this year. So I've decided to take my usual rules, some of them, and just throw them out the window. I'm taking the Oberg to win outright at plus 1,200 this week because at this point, doing the things that make sense isn't working. So time to do things that are dumb, and betting on an Oberg to win is kind of dumb. So I'm going to do it. He is playing really good golf. This feels like the type of tournament that he wins because it's the weekend after the Masters.
Yeah,
no one cares. Yeah. I feel like he can only dominate at things that have no stakes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got him to win outright. Another guy is playing some decent golf this week that also does pretty well at these lower stakes events. Taking Patrick Cantlay at plus 330 to finish top 5. And then finally, a guy that's really having a great, a really great year, kind of breaking out. Give me Maverick McNeely to finish top 10 at plus 400.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, Shane.
What's really funny,
sorry, go ahead, Don.
Is even if all 3 of those picks hit, I am still losing money on the year on golf.
Hey, you got to get out of the hole before you can start making a profit.
Exactly. This is the week I dig out of it.
Yeah, I wish I could say that this it can't get worse, but because it really could. But
it really could. It's only April. It's only April.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you have to dig out first before you start making profit.
Yeah.
Yeah, dig the hole, and then you got to get yourself out of it with doing the same thing. It's still a shovel. It's just whether you're throwing dirt on or taking dirt out, pretty much.
Yeah.
So I have an outright winner. I just think Scotty's got to win a tournament at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it feels like this is going to be the one. Again, low stakes. Not that he has issues with high stakes or anything like that, but he's got to see one go in, right? This is the equivalent of like when we bet on stuff. It's like, oh yeah, if that doesn't happen, we're actually going to be mad about it, not just it's a little surprising.
Yeah,
he needs to see one go in. I think this could be a tournament that he does that at. And then I have a top 20 parlay as always. Spieth plus 105, Jordan. Good tournament. Good Masters, had pretty good performance. Not near the top of the leaderboards, obviously, but pretty solid overall. Minwoo Lee, I'm hoping bounces back after his tough one. I need to see him play better golf than that. It was really upsetting because him and I think it was Matsuyama too. Yeah, he just finished outside the top 20, I think, and then Minwoo Lee was down at like 40 something because he had a terrible weekend. But I want to see him bounce back. And then a guy that had a rough – I'm kind of betting on two guys having a better tournament in a lower stakes situation. Will Zalatoris, rough Masters performance. Yeah. But I think plus 180 is really good odds for a guy who's been relatively good outside of the Masters this year, at least staying in that like 30 to 20 range in the standings. So, but that gives me plus 1220 on top 20 parlay, which I'm pretty happy with. So
nice.
Like it.
All right. So, yeah, like I said, you're a true golf fanatic if you're watching this weekend. Let us know. I agree, Shane. Like Scotty, he has to win one. This is a layup for him. So
should be, but we'll see.
Yeah, it should be. So I don't know if we've had lacrosse picks on Over the Line yet. Since we
I don't know. I don't think we
have. So, Doc, go ahead and give us a lacrosse pick.
Yeah, kind of gotten away with it, or gotten away from it a little bit, but gotta get back into it now that we're starting to get closer to tournament time. Mm-hmm. Conference tournaments are coming up very soon. I got a 3-leg parlay this week. These are all games that I handicapped that felt really close, a lot closer than what the spread had them at. So I think they're all ranked games too. So I've got Harvard and Cornell. I've got Harvard at +3 against Cornell. And then I've got UMass +4.5 against Richmond. And Rutgers +3.5 against Penn State. Those should all be really close games. I believe they are all matchups between ranked teams right now. So it should be good games. I think they're all Saturday noon games, so it should be fun. And they're all big conference matchups that have a lot of postseason implications as well. So it should be good lacrosse.
Nice. All right, that's our lacrosse segment. Shane, I'd be remiss. Do you have any lacrosse picks? Thought I'd just ask.
No.
All right. So let's go ahead and get into our NBA picks. NBA playoffs starting. Shane, why don't you go ahead and kick us off? Or no, sorry, Dalton. I forgot.
You're good.
Most important. No.
We gotta have a full runway for the system we're about to hear.
Let me restart that. All right, that's our lacrosse picks. Let's go ahead and get into our NBA. Dalton,
all right.
I know you have something for us. Why don't you go ahead and explain something that you have for the NBA this playoffs?
So I've been doing this the last couple of years, betting NBA, and I've profited. I think the last 2 years I've profited both years. But basically what I do is for every night of the NBA playoffs, I pick one result bet for each game that's happening that night, and I don't straight bet them. I just parlay them and place one unit on a parlay. Do the same thing every single night, the entire NBA playoffs. Some nights there's 2 games, some nights there's 4. But I just place the one parlay bet because think about it, if there's 2 games a night for 3 straight nights, if you straight bet all those games and you go 1-1 first night, 0-2 the second night, 2-0 the first night, all those straight bets, they're probably at -110 roughly. If you go 500 betting -110 and everything, you lose money. But say if you're doing a parlay each night, those 2 -110 games will usually come out to like a +230 parlay. So if you just hit that one, say you hit your parlay on Monday at plus 230, and then you miss your parlay the next 2 nights, you've still made money over the course of those 3 games. You're still up like 0.3 units.
Sold.
Yep.
The math checks out. It just you don't have to hit as often. Like instead of hitting, if you're straight betting, you basically have to be above 500. If you're parlaying it, you really only have to go like 1 for 3.
Gotcha. Okay. So
you know
should
what? The math on that, not only does it check out, but Dalton does a thing. It basically is what he's saying to do is just always bet like Shane does, which is don't straight bet anything in your entire life and hope that one of your parlays hit. Now his are going to be a little bit less ridiculous than mine tend to be because it's only the games that night. My ass would be parlaying the full week of NBA games, hoping that hits, and then if it doesn't, I will lose $5 and be happy with it. Yeah. So that's the difference. So definitely do what Dalton just said to do, and don't do what I'm probably going to end up doing at some point this playoff. So yeah, I'm down with it.
Shane, why don't you go ahead and kick us off then? Or, no, go ahead, Dalton. Sorry, Dalton, go ahead.
I can give my picks from as like an example.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Sure.
So last night, I'm down a unit as of last night because I hit Orlando. The Orlando part hit with Orlando covering, but I took the under in that game, and then I missed on Warriors to cover -7 because they only won by 5.
Yeah.
But tonight I got Heat money line at plus 105, which is looking fantastic.
Just a little bit.
And then we just need Kings money line to hit, which they're -192 to beat the Mavericks. They better beat the hapless Mavericks. But those 2 games, those 2 money lines parlayed together at plus 211.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, so go ahead. Why don't you go ahead and tweet those out then?
Yeah.
When you get started, and then we'll just go ahead and start tailing those.
I like it.
Yeah, we need to tell that because I'm going to be like, I'm just going to bet the every playoff series, which that's by the way what I did for this. I picked the playoff series that we know are happening already. So yeah, I could jump into that. So
yeah,
again, I didn't do any game picks right now. I'm just betting the series that we have coming up. So 6 like settled series that are able to be bet on at this moment in time. They'll change here in a little bit, but I got Pistons over Knicks because the Knicks in the playoffs. Thibodeau's a coach. They're going to be tired. This is what happens to this team all the time. I don't trust them in the playoffs because of the play style. Plus, the Pistons kind of like one of my secondary teams that I like to pay attention to. And this year, it's actually fun instead of sad to watch the Pistons. So good for them. Bucks plus 180. I don't care. Damian Lillard, sorry, man. I hope you're feeling better soon. I don't care. The Pacers don't scare me. I still take the Bucks in the first round. I'll see if they can do anything after that. But Pacers don't concern me whatsoever. Celtics because it's a layup. If the Magic beat them, that's awesome. Honestly, I'll take the loss. $5. I'm good with that. It'd be really funny if they lost to them. That's by the way the -7,000 on that. So not giving the Magic a whole lot of love. Just being honest with you. Not that they should. So they got the Lakers starting with the Western Conference playoff series. Lakers -194. I think it'll be a fun series. I don't think that the Wolves are going to be able to take care of them unless one of Luka or LeBron goes down. I think they can take care of business there. Rockets plus 162. The Warriors are a good team. Obviously, they took care of business against my Grizzlies, which they should have. But I just feel like this Rockets team is young and fun, man. I don't know if the Warriors have a playoff series win in them this season. So maybe next year if they could figure that out with that team. And then Clippers over Denver. I'm not into the coach bump. I don't think I'm going to take the fired coach bump in the playoff series, man. I think Denver is going to be soul searching after the season, and Clippers are going to make a run for this with this core, maybe one last time and see if they can do something. So all of that together parlayed at plus 8,847 if all those series hit. So
hell yeah,
healthy, as I like to say.
I didn't bet on the Clippers, but I do like them. I think they're hitting right now.
Yeah, they're playing really good basketball.
Yeah.
They're mostly healthy. Kawhi's playing good basketball, which is huge for them. As long as they can get through a series together, I think they can take care of them.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Dalton, let's go ahead. Let's hear. Did you already give your picks?
Yeah.
Was that all of them? Okay.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I didn't know if you had some more. All right, so
yeah, there's no games yet, or they don't know what's gonna be playing tomorrow. I don't think yet, right?
I think there's some games of the first playoff series that are already settled. I think are starting tomorrow. But other than that, no.
Yeah.
Odds yet.
I'm betting a 3-game parlay for the games on Saturday. It's not plus 8,000. So I'm putting a couple units on this one. But I'm taking the Pistons plus 7. I'm going to take the points, even though I think they can win outright.
Yeah.
I'm taking Lakers money line against the Timberwolves. I think this could be a dogfight for some reason. I think it'll be a good series, but I think the Lakers will take game 1. And then I know we disagree on this one, Shane, but I'm taking Pacers money line against the Bucks. I think the Bucks could win this series, will win this series, but I think the Pacers will take the first game or two.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, at the end of the day, I know Lillard being out's tough. I'll take Giannis in the playoff series against the Pacers, man. That's just where I'm at.
No, I get it.
In the first game, who knows? But
yeah. So Pacers money line, Lakers money line, Pistons plus 7. That's at plus 328. So like I said, it's not plus 8,000, but
we're betting 3 games and betting 6. It's a playoff series, so it's probably fair.
And like I said, I might go back and do this one again and add the Clippers money line on there because I am starting to talk myself into that, or possibly just doing an alternate spread on that game. So we'll see. But I am putting a couple units on this play. All right. That is NBA playoffs. So we'll have some more of that next week, obviously. That's what we have for this week. NHL picks. Do you guys have any hockey picks? I have a one play for tomorrow. You guys got anything?
Nothing yet.
No, not yet. No. I gotta look into some stuff. Gotta do some research. Haven't been paying attention too much this year. I just know the Penguins not so good.
Yeah,
that's about all I know. So.
Well, yeah. Speaking of that, so on my play, I had the Capitals plus 1.5 against the Penguins. I had Lightning money line against the Rangers, and then I have Kings money line against the Flames, and that's at plus 356. Putting a couple units on that one. I'm just trying not to go crazy on my parlays now.
Tone it down a little bit,
so I'm trying to tone it down. Like Scotty, I'm trying to see what go through the hoop here.
Fair enough.
So that is NHL. And then before we get into MLB, do you guys have anything else weird? Soccer, NASCAR, anything? No.
Without Jake here, I fear we do not have soccer bets coming in.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. Usually, that's why we need Jake on here.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's go ahead and get into MLB picks. Let's just give a little breakdown. How are we feeling about our teams so far this year?
Oh, well.
Oh, sorry. I was not.
The Pirates are exactly who we thought they were.
Yeah.
To quote Dennis Green, the late Dennis Green, RIP, they are who we thought they were. Okay. Yeah. They are a Paul Skeens merchant. Even when he pitches, sometimes they still lose. That's about it. Like, they're basically hoping for O'Neal Cruz to hit a grand slam every week and then hoping that'll get them a win or two. That's pretty much it. They can't hit the ball. They can't pitch unless it's Skeens. Keller's even sort of becoming mid again after being mid for like 3 years to start his career. We got nothing going on. That's pretty much the summing up of what the Pirates fan experience is right now. Every time I'm on Instagram, I get a different meme of like crunchy like video of like so what it's like to be a Pirates fan. It's just like screaming or it's like some sort of static TV thing. That's basically what I get every time I'm on social media. So that's all you need to know about my experience as a Pirates fan.
Yeah. Kind of the same. Cardinals remain perfectly average. Managed to actually playing against the Pirates, managed to beat Paul Skeens and still lose the series.
Yeah, which is again backwards. They did it backwards.
Sums up the Cardinals perfectly. Kind of what they're doing. At this point, there's a bunch of guys on the roster that have no business being on a 500 team, and they're gonna probably limp to the deadline and then have to figure out whether or not to sell them if they can or not, because all the guys they like before the season, all the guys that they should be trading all have no trade clauses.
Yeah.
It's rough.
That makes sense. Yeah. You guys need to get rid of Nolan.
Arenado has no business on a team.
Yeah, he needs to get out of there.
I'm not sure what that's about.
Same with Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, trade him for some 19-year-old Dominican outfielder that doesn't play.
Yeah, exactly.
Like A+ ball right now. Like,
yeah.
Let's skip this whole thing. Let's just do it.
Yeah, just get it over with. I will say I am a little bit more pleased with the Reds as of the past 2 weeks than I was, or the past week and a half than I was the very first week and a half of the season. So I'm hopefully optimistic right now, even though we did lose tonight. But we can't let the freaking Cubs win the NL Central, guys.
Hey, don't ask me to help.
We have to start putting some pressure on them.
Don't ask me to help. We're the only team in the division.
And we can't let the Brewers just sneakily win the Central again.
That's the most likely outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Reds need to make a comeback for bets to hit.
They've won 6 of their last 8 or something like that. So
7-3 last 10.
Yeah. So we lost tonight.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I will say this from a betting perspective: as far as that division, that crazy division parlay I threw out when we were doing this.
Yeah.
The one leg that needed to hit for everything to have a chance was Padres to win the West.
I know, and they might do it.
You know what?
They're looking real good.
Bad. I'm not going to say they might do it yet.
Yeah.
Well, here's
I'm not getting that close.
Yeah. This is still the Padres we're talking about.
They're
So
probably not going to do it. To be very clear, it's probably not going to happen, even if they are looking pretty good to start the year. And the Dodgers are starting off okay.
They're looking beatable,
They are.
Which that's really good for baseball, I would say.
Or they're hitting their slump early.
Maybe.
Which is worse.
Anybody want to guess how many runs the Colorado Rockies have scored through the season in 17 games?
Oh my god. I had the standings up and I had to look at it when he said that.
I'm gonna say 33.
That's okay. It's not that bad, but it's 45 in 17 games.
I
don't think anyone else is below 50.
I almost said 42, but
45 in 17 games is rough. That means
what's their run differential?
3 runs a game.
Minus 50.
Yeah, I mean, when you go out and play at their ballpark, it's like playing in a little league field, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
pretty
the
much.
ball it's like doubles, triples. You get random home runs. Like, it's hitter friendly out there.
The worst run differential outside of the Rockies is minus 19, and they're minus 50.
Jeez,
this might be this is trending towards White Sox territory to start the year.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be trending towards White Sox territory. Not last year's White Sox territory. But
here's the thing, Casey. They've scored far less runs than everybody else, and they've played in that little league ballpark.
That's what I'm saying.
More than everybody else.
Yeah, it's
That's
really
what I don't
incredible.
get.
It's hard to be that bad offensively in Coors. Like, it's really hard. Dudes stick their bats out and it goes 420. Like, we don't really – I don't know what's going on with that, but
I love when the Reds play out there because it's just fun to watch. Like, you can hit a gap and it you'll have your catcher out there getting 3 triples in a game.
Yeah, it's insane.
So
I don't know.
The outfield just goes on forever. But yeah, the Rockies, I don't know even if the Rockies know what they're doing. They have.
No, I know they don't.
There's no plan. They're like, let's just release City Connect uniforms until people get off our back.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
but again, they're just one of those teams that, there's several MLB teams that just don't actually care about winning championships at all.
I know. Yeah.
And they're one of them. That's why baseball sucks. Sorry. This is why.
Fair enough. By the way,
If it
real quick
sucks, go
before we
ahead.
get our
Yeah.
picks in, before we do our picks, teams that currently have as many or more wins than the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Miami Marlins, Washington Nationals, who should be a little bit decent, the the Sacramento A's have as many wins as the Pittsburgh Pirates
In less games.
in less games.
Sorry.
The Angels have 9 wins and are playing good baseball.
Yeah, sneakily decent this year.
This is what I'm dealing with currently. I'm pretty much like happy that I'm not somehow the Braves right now, which I still would rather be the Braves, obviously. The Rockies and the White Sox. Pretty much everyone else is like, yeah, I'm still as good or better than you.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at right now.
So when does Skeens get traded? Is it
if I'm being realistic,
2 years.
I think he gets to like the last year or so of his arbitration. And then that last year of arbitration, because it's going to be like somewhere in like $20+ million, probably they're going to be like, sorry, we don't have the money for that. We're going to have to trade you to the Yankees or whoever it's going to be.
He'll be a Dodger.
Yeah, and then they're going to get, I don't know, probably another generational pitcher randomly, and then it'll repeat the process. You
guys already have his replacement.
Who do you think that would be?
Isn't there? Don't you guys already have a pitcher that's like?
We probably got like 7 cases.
No, I think there's. I can't remember his name. But I think you guys have a pitcher that's close to coming up. That's like supposed to be as good or better than Skeens.
If he's supposed to be better than Skeens, then he's never existed on planet Earth, probably.
Yeah,
sorry.
That's what I've just been hearing, and he sent like a text message to Skeens talking shit on opening day.
Haven't heard of him in my whole life, so whoever this is, I don't know. But either way, he'll be traded too at some point, I imagine. So whoever that is.
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and give us your MLB picks?
Wait, are you talking about Bubba Chandler?
I think so.
Because he's not that great.
Oh, he's not?
He's a good pitching prospect, but he doesn't come anywhere in the same stratosphere as Skeens as a prospect. But they have good prospects.
That he was good.
I'm not saying he's bad. He's just not nowhere close to being considered like anywhere close to Skeens as a prospect.
Yeah.
I think he is the 14th best prospect in baseball right now.
Gotcha.
Overall. So again, good player, but yeah, not exactly thrilled about whatever that's going to be. Yeah. Anyway, I can give my picks if you want first. Here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have the Marlins plus 1.5 home against the Diamondbacks. They've been good, honestly. They've been pretty decent to start the year. Diamondbacks and the whole NL West, except for the Rockies, has also been really good. But I think they can keep it close at home against Diamondbacks. Yeah. Mariners minus 1.5 against your Reds. Woo's pitching for them. That's pretty much my explanation for that. Singer's been pretty good for you guys too, but
he has.
Woo's been pretty phenomenal. The Mariners just have to hit like a couple balls and they'll be all right. They can score. Athletics minus 1.5 at the White Sox again. Athletics kind of fine as a baseball team, despite everything going on with them. White Sox still pretty tragically bad. So, you know, that's what you get. Guardians minus 1.5 against or at the Orioles. Orioles have struggled to start the year, which is frustrating for me because they're supposed to be the team that I can root for when the Pirates are bad, which is all the time. But instead, they're not really that good either right now, so that's frustrating for me. So I'm kind of just betting on them to lose because they're making me mad. And the Angels plus 1.5 at the Texas Rangers. Angels, again, playing pretty good baseball. And Kumar Rocker starting, and he is horrendous so far in his young career. So I'm going to bet that the Angels can take care of business there, and at least even if they don't win, make it very close. So, and all that parlays together with those 5 at plus 3,309.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go ahead and get my picks, and then Dalton, you can wrap us up with your MLB picks. I have 2 3-leg parlays for tomorrow. My first one is a plus 363 odds on this one. So I have the Reds plus 1.5. I know Woo's a great pitcher. I agree with you, but the Reds had a bullshit loss tonight. And
no bias in that sense, I'm sure.
No, There was a point in the 8th inning where they had no outs and Ellie was on first base and he went to steal second and Austin Hayes struck out and the ump said that Austin Hayes got in the way of Ellie or of the catcher throwing the ball down, and then they called Ellie out as well, and it just killed the inning, and then that was the end of the game at that point. So
kind of like a skill issue to me, but
yeah, and then Tito came out and was all pissed off. But I'll take the run line on that one plus 1.5. We'll see what happens. They took care of business against Luis Castillo, which I thought was crazy, but we'll see. I have Tigers money line against Royals. Tigers, hey, playing good baseball compared to what they have in the past. Great team. I think they'll be my AL Central team. We'll say that.
My Royals are disappointing me so far.
Unfortunately. And then I also have Giants plus 1.5 against the Phillies. I think they curb stomped the Phillies tonight. I think it was like 11-4 or something like that.
Pretty big win,
yeah. So I'm going to take them to at least cover the run line at plus 1.5. Like I said, that's at plus 363. And then my next 3 leg is Pirates money line against the Nationals. They're at home. Pirates have to win. I've been taking them against the Nationals. Nationals are up and down. You never know who you're going to come out when they're on the diamond. I have the Guardians, like you said. Orioles are down so far this year. I think they can pick it up. I mean, they have some they can mash the ball in that lineup. I don't know what's happening. Then I have the Athletics money line against the White Sox. Athletics sneakily having a decent season so far.
They're not
what's going on. White Sox as well, better than I thought they were going to, but Athletics I think can sneak this one out. That one's at plus 433. So. Dalton, what do you got?
So I just threw together a little 3-leg parlay for tomorrow. All I got are I'm taking the Nationals money line against the Pirates.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, Pirates not that great.
Not good.
And I like the value on the Nationals. Taking the Reds money line against the Mariners.
Oh,
mostly because I like the value, and I think the Reds are gonna turn it around soon. Like they're not playing bad baseball. They're just not winning a ton of games. And then I'm taking the Royals money line against the Tigers.
Yeah.
I think the Royals are also the team that I think's gonna pull it together here soon. So those 3 money lines parlay together at plus 824.
Nice. Yeah, I figured that'd be pretty healthy on that. You just spit in the face of both of us on our picks, basically.
Well,
yeah. To be fair, I was just throwing this together.
I get it. That was funny. Yeah.
I got to do something, guys.
Yeah.
And then I was half listening when I was throwing it together because I was trying to read. And then I didn't even realize that, I just completely went against you guys.
Dalton waited for us to do our stuff. He's like, all right. Fuck all that shit. Here's my picks. Listen to me, guys.
It's in Dalton's blood to just go against us.
He didn't even mean to do it. He didn't even mean to. He still did it.
Yeah,
he even tried it.
Yeah. He's like, something's
I never intend to. Because
it's a natural state of being.
Sure, intend to. Yeah.
When we do football, we don't. We usually don't share our picks beforehand, and then
we
never share picks.
Sharing picks is
the exact opposite.
Yeah. Very funny. Yeah.
But awesome. me and Shane are used to this.
We are. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
You guys watch the draft show. Me and Shane are there's always at least 1 or 2 guys every episode that we are miles apart on.
It's really funny because it's always we're mostly in line with each other, a lot of guys, and then there's just one player on almost every position where it's I'm I don't think this guy can play, and Dalton's this is my best player in the draft. It's what's going on? That's the nature of it, but it's just funny. Yeah. It's funny. This especially happens with me and Dalton. Jake and I are usually Jake's always in the middle of us. He always takes the middle ground on players that were polarizing between him and I think it's always funny.
Yeah.
So, but
the latest Casey was actually an Ohio State guy.
Who?
Lathan Ransom.
Yeah.
So let me guess. Dalton, you were not high on him.
Oh, I'm a big Lathan
No,
Ransom.
he was.
Oh,
He was
okay.
Ransom.
All
Yeah.
right.
I love a lot of the Ohio State defensive
Yeah.
players, actually.
Yeah. So
I mean, they're national champions for a reason.
Yeah.
there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Fair enough.
now you can try to build that defense with your new defense coordinator.
What do you mean build a defense? At
They're
Penn State?
They're
You're
doing
saying
pretty
Penn State
all right.
doesn't have one? That defense is not the issue.
No, yeah, they can throw a defense together whenever they want. It's
Yeah.
the offense that tends to be the problem in a lot of these games.
Specifically,
Result-
just not having
results
wide
talk.
receivers.
Yeah,
and
they're
really good
allergic to
quarterbacks.
You guys don't need wide receivers. You guys never have a guy who can throw the damn ball.
We do. We just don't make him. We don't run a normal offense for a guy
Yeah.
that can throw the damn ball.
Yeah,
true.
you're like,
true.
let's throw a little something to our tight
See
end.
how many times we can get Tyler Warren to throw and or run with the football.
Yeah,
And but to be fair, it worked most of the time.
yeah.
But that usually isn't a great way to do it.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say we recruit guys that are 6'4" and
Mhm.
can't really run and can throw the ball a mile, and then we make them run an offense designed for a guy who's 6 foot
Yeah.
and can run but can't really throw.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is great.
You guys saw Cam Scadabo and were like, yeah, we have Tyler Warren. Let's just go ahead and do the same thing. You guys just, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens next year, Dalton. This could be the year. This is it. This is the year.
No.
This is the year for y'all.
I mean, I've talked myself into it a little bit, but
Do you guys play Ohio State this year?
I don't even. Probably not would be my guess.
I don't think you guys do.
Let's see here. Non-conference is nobody. Then Oregon is the very first conference game.
No, we play you guys November 1st.
And then, yeah, that's it. It's just Oregon and Ohio State, and then the rest of the schedule. Like the next best team on the schedule might be Nebraska if they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Nico is in UCLA now. Maybe we'll have to worry about his butt.
I'm not worried about him.
Like
I'm not worried.
wasn't
In case
that-
you wouldn't be worried about it. He wasn't that great. No.
I'm not worried about that.
In case
There's
like, I already
not
already
really
dealt
good
with that.
quarterbacks right now in college football.
You said there's no good quarterbacks?
There's just not many.
Yeah, there's. I know I'm going to sound stupid for this. What do we have on Arch Manning that says he's going to be this like number 1 overall pick? Like, how much tape do we have on this guy that we can make this?
Go back and watch the Georgia games where he came in. The Georgia game where he came in for years.
He hasn't played. I want to see a whole season from him.
That's
I'm not
fair.
saying that.
I'm not
I'm not gonna say he's bad. I'm not saying that. I'm just like everyone's already saying this dude's like Jesus.
Well, here's the thing. There's two main reasons for it, Casey. One is the last name,
Yeah,
and the recruiting pedigree that he had, partially because of that last name, right?
Yeah.
And when he has played, he has been the best quarterback for Texas when he's played in his career.
Yeah.
Like he just has been. And granted, that's coming from someone who thinks Quinn Ewers might as well pack up his things and learn insurance. But it's still like he's just been a better player than him in an offense. So I think the expectations are high. I don't know if he comes out this year, even if he has a great season. I think the Mannings probably are going to play that system and be like, hey, how much money is he worth to stick around another year? Also, what teams have the first couple picks in the draft? Do we want him to go there?
Yeah.
Like, he's going to manipulate this thing, and it's going to come down to a lot of factors. So,
yeah, he's going to, because, we've already seen it. Now that, Eli already did it.
Yeah.
So now I definitely think
back when it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, before we turn this into the draft show, Shane, why don't you go ahead and give us I know the draft show is going to have some exciting stuff coming up, especially with next week being NFL draft. So
we
why don't
can
you go
do
ahead and give
draft
us
bets next week.
We are going to. I was going to say, please tell me we are going to do that.
Yeah, we're going to be doing some draft bets.
Yes,
I just want to go ahead and tell us what's going to be happening next week with the draft show.
No, yeah, absolutely. So the first thing for sure is that we're going to have our last show before the draft. I mentioned this to the guys. We'll see if we can do anything before Monday next week or during the week before the draft, but might have some other smaller shows. We'll see if we can do that. I don't know what you guys' availability will be, but our last definite show we're going to have is this Monday coming up at a normal time, which is going to be the unveiling of our top 50 boards, all three of us, and a consensus one, assuming I can get that to work properly once I get Jake's here, once he is able to do that. So we'll talk about those, like the differences, kind of how we see the draft overall, final kind of thoughts on it. And then Thursday night, Dalton unfortunately will be doing some show related stuff, so he won't be on for most of the first day of the draft, but we are streaming live during the first round, I should say. Jake and I will be on. We'll have some friends from the past and stuff like that. Yeah, Casey will be on some point, hopefully, for some of it.
I'll be there for the Niners.
Yeah, at least the Niners pick. Yeah, that'll be fun. So we'll have a bunch of guests. It'll be a lot of fun. And then Dalton will come in at the end when Jake and I are probably ready to die and be like, "What's up, guys? What happened?" And we'll be like, "You talk for 10 minutes, please." So, but it'll be a lot of fun.
I'll have plenty of thoughts.
Okay, Dalton have all sorts of takes. Yeah,
I'll be at that point. I'll have been in a bunch of like meetings for stuff, and I'll have just been like looking at my phone, and I'll be like just bursting.
Yeah, he'll have plenty to say. So yeah, definitely check that out. That'll be Thursday. We'll go live probably about between 30 and 15 minutes before. Yeah, about 15, 30 minutes before the draft starts. We'll kind of get things started, and then we'll go through the end here. So, okay. Also, Casey, timeout.
I don't know why Dalton. That was so funny. He said, "I'm bursting." It just got me. It was just a funny word. I was not. All right, I'm sorry.
Seams with takes.
Yeah.
I will be.
Yeah, he will be.
Well, yeah. Just text him and we'll get him in there.
Yeah. There you go.
But all right. So next week, exciting stuff. Kind of your guys' Super Bowl.
I mean,
it is your guys' Super Bowl. I mean,
it certainly is. Yeah.
Get ready for. So
yeah.
Be ready for that. I'm sure our X account, I almost said Twitter. Obviously, it's not what it is, but
it's Twitter.
Whatever it is, whatever we call it, Twitter X. We'll be tweeting out, obviously, reminders for that show. So follow that. We'll have some bets next week for the draft. So be ready to follow those. We'll have another home run parlay tomorrow. We'll have the graphics sent out, like I said, way before hopefully not 10 minutes before the first pitch. So we'll try to give at least an hour. We'll tweet that out. But we do appreciate you guys for watching episode 5. We'll see you same time next week, 9:30 Eastern, for episode 6. We'll have some more NBA betting, obviously, for the draft and some more. And like I said, let us know if you trail anything. And look out for that home run parlay for tomorrow. Peace.